Hey design fans, I'm back with my second video on styling your shelves, or as I like to call them, a shelfie, or styling your bookcase. You may remember from my first one, if you haven't seen it, check it out, it's on the Facebook page. It's in my game room, which is also our TV room and our playroom and our homeschool room, because yeah, we homeschool the kids. So our big wall of bookcases here, while also being about display and showing off all our special mementos, it's really a utilitarian bookcase. Holds a lot of stuff that gets all of our hard daily living is all stored behind me here. This room gets a lot of use. I'm starting at the homeschool end, and this end has a whole bunch of stuff that the kids would need for their daily school stuff, and their organization is a mess right now. So we're going to address that next week when we start school. So that'll be a different topic. But all of this stuff is out and easy for them to access, which is very important because obviously I'm doing my design magic in the other room. So if they need help, they can come in and get me, or they can go ahead and reference a book or their laptop. And all of that is stored on here behind me. So before the first video, we talked about how to find some balance overall on your bookcase. This one, I really want to talk about the collections. So even though I'll be talking about my kids' stuff mostly on this one, whatever your collectibles are or whatever you want to display that tells your story, all these tips can apply to that too. One of the things that's important you want to show, like on this shelf in particular, is a good example of height and variety. So each shelf should be displayed well, in addition to being displayed well overall. You want to vary the height and allow things some breathing room around it. Books can be laid horizontally in addition to vertically, and you can mix in the collectibles in amongst other stuff, so it's not necessarily all on the same height level or all in the same color scheme. So because I have such a large bookcase, I'm really able to, spread everything out pretty well balanced. I'll scan back here so you can have a good close look at things. But the challenge with displaying your own shelves is the editing. It's really hard to, to edit down your own stuff. I get that. Especially with kids, because they find everything important, and it is to them. Everything is very important, but they bring home a bunch of stuff, or they create a bunch of stuff, and some of it's really large. So the large scale stuff, whether that's like a cool science project or big artwork that is three-dimensional that you don't have room for, take a photo of it. Get one of those cool photo collages and put, all the cool science projects all in one photo collage and display that. So it's just as important and shows as much pride as the cool trophy that you've got sitting on the shelf too. I really understand how busy people are. Believe me, I do. And I know that a lot of parents like to edit out the stuff as soon as the kid's off to school, right? They get in there and they take out everything and they don't include the kids because it's, can be argumentative. But I know it takes more time, but I'll give you 3 things that I think are really important and why I include my kids in asking them what they find important to display. For one, it teaches them I really respect their opinion and respect their things and want them to find value in how we live. And by incorporating them in that decision, they do. They find a lot of pride in how they live, and they're more apt to take good care of it. So when they're out, it's their turn to dust these shelves, they really enjoy going back and maybe not at first. But it'll stick with them, I promise. And the second reason is it teaches them good design skills, because come on, that is so important, right? It teaches them some good design skills. So, I have to tell them, yeah, that looks good there, but does it look good on the shelf? So maybe we can work out how to, better arrange that. And third, it teaches them to look critically at their own things, to be objective about it and say, hey, yeah, I really like that ceramic, but you're right. I think that this one I'm just as proud of, and I really think that one would look better on the shelf. So let's use that one, Mom, and I'll put this one on my dresser or in a box, and I'll just keep that. So like I said, it teaches them some really good critical thinking skills. So I really recommend you trying it with the kids. I'm laughing because you can see I've got a bunch of vintage things, and this is one of my favorite fans. This was my parents', and it rattles a lot on this glass shelf, so I've stuck a napkin underneath it so it doesn't rattle around so much. So you can see some of my utility in amongst our cool display stuff, right? But we've got vintage toys mixed in with the kids' collectibles as well as science projects, and sort of spread out. But again, you might notice on each shelf how height is varied and color is balanced, and each shelf really does tell a story. Each shelf has something old as well as something new, and everything is accessible and able to be used. These were mine as a kid. My little people absolutely loved them. And here's one of the handmade ceramics from someone in our family, and games and toys, and it's all out here. My husband's little old truck, along with my daughter's little piece of cake ceramic. So it shows a bit of history and story. And don't forget you and what's important and cool with your life. My husband and I like to keep our old wine corks of our favorite bottles or favorite moments, and we try to remember to write the date on here, and we keep the wine cork of our favorite bottle, or a great anniversary dinner. And now we've got a few ceramic bowls of wine corks around the house, but every time I walk by, it reminds me of special moments with my love. How cool is that? Because really what comes down to it is all about learning how to live beautifully. If you need help showing off your favorite things, give me a call, send me an email. We can work online as well. You could send me a picture and I could tell you, what could work and what doesn't, and help you edit out some stuff. But anything you have can become special and go into telling the story of who you are and who your family is. And every time you walk into a room, it can tell a bit more about you and how you're living beautifully.